Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the MPG, the Transformers More Than Meets the Eye trainbot Shouki? I think Shouki? I really don't know. But MPG-01 Cybertron trainbot leader. And the only reason why I have this is the outer box, that is the inner box. Inner box looks more cool, but I guess this is what they do when it's a car exclusive sent over to the US. But I picked this up at TC Rockets, a pretty good price. Might have been just slightly cheaper online, but they had them in stock right then and there, so I decided to get them there. Lots of Japanese. I believe that might be his bio, I'm not really sure. But yeah, weapon scale with the other two is a smaller masterpiece, but to be fair, he is part of a combiner. There is Katai mode, and then there is the contents, also in Japanese, character card, instructions, stand piece, no stand, seats, gun, shield thing, and the train, and the 2 track pieces. He does, and that's pretty much about it for the packaging. He does obviously come packaged in train mode, but I don't think I'm gonna start off with him in train mode because I have him in robot mode currently. So let's go ahead and take a look at him. So here he is. He looks really cool. I think he looks cool. Here is his handgun, and that's also another problem. Even though he is a masterpiece, he still has some of the problems of some of the chug figures, like mushroom pegs that, you know, don't stay on very well. Anyway, but there's his handgun. It's just gray plastic molded in. It does have a little slot on it, or tab that goes into that slot in his hand. And as you can see, it's on either side, so you can put it in either hand. So, yeah, we took a look at the gun. So let's set the gun off to the side. And let's put his arm back on, shall we? There we are. Got the arm back on. Let's take a look at the character card. Lovely artwork. Trainbot Shouki. Cybertron Trainbot's leader. And there is his stats. At least the stats are in English. Strength, intelligence, speed, endurance, rank, courage, fire blast, and skill. For being the leader of a team, he seems to have a very low rank. Anyway, and there's other stats in Japanese that I cannot read, but if you have a video photo translator app thing, you can translate it if you want to. And let's set that off to the side. And here we have 2 optional seats that you can put in him in train mode. And that's also where you can store his shield if you so desire as well. You can't have them both at the same time. Oh well. It's not like I have any characters I can say, because he does not come with Daniel, which would be kind of cool, because apparently because that's what shows in the instructions, shows Daniel saying it. But no, he does not come with Daniel. Instructions that have a nice bio. I happen to use my app, or camera app, to Google photo to translate most of the bio, and it's pretty interesting. Pretty much like what I suspect. It's just pretty much like, hey, he's the leader of the trainbots. The trainbots come from Japan. They were made on Earth. They're not native to Cybertron, so they do have a special connection to Earth. And for his last accessory, here we have the train tracks put together. It is chrome plastic. I kind of wish they could have gone with or would have gone with metal rails like they do on most toy train sets that my dad used to get. Granted, those weren't Transformers, they were just trains that, you know, could be remote controlled, which are really cool. Although, considering it's a track, it's pretty much you just on, off, or on, slow, fast, whatever. You pretty much just controlled the speed. You didn't really control exactly where it goes unless you changed up the track. Anyway, that's a little too much of a tangent. And let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of his detail. Wait, one more accessory. Where did it go? And here's his shield, which is also, as you can tell, part of the chest of the combined robot mode. And it can also collapse up. Just flip that down and collapse. And then this goes in the cockpit where those 2 chairs can go. Now for shield, it doesn't stay on the greatest, but you can clip that little clip right there onto these tab, clear plastic tab. Also, this guy has a lot of clear plastic. Definitely makes me a little bit anxious anytime I transform him. But yeah, clear plastic. So that is a thing that you have to deal with these guys. I'm assuming most of the train bots are probably gonna have a lot of clear plastic because of all the windows that trains didn't have. But like I said, it does go on his arm, but it yeah, it doesn't stay on very well. But it's a good thing I don't plan on using it as a shield most of the time. So let's go ahead and put that into storage, put it off the side, and like I said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this guy. His face is very, very amazing. Even came with a little plastic cover to protect it from getting chipped or anything. It has chrome, not chrome, it's a metallic silver for his crest, black around his eyes, blue, bright blue for the eyes, silver for the face, and blue for the rest of his head. Looks absolutely amazing. Definitely very anime. And then the Autobot emblem with silver backing, yellow, blue. He's pretty much blue, white, and then has black detailing like on his thighs and something else says gray. I mean, it's pretty much white and blue. Those are his main colors. And on the back, he does have a pretty big train backpack. I mean, it's not the worst out there. And also, he does have a little bit of hollow leg syndrome, especially on this one. Not so bad on this side, but on this side, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's a little more than I would like. Anyway, now to articulation. The head is on a ball joint. You look down about that far, so not down very much at all. Up pretty far, which is good. And he does get quite a bit of wiggly waggly. And his head can do a full 360. Arms go out about that far. Go forward about that far before this gets in the way. Can't really go directly back because of all of this gibble. Although you can't really get anything back unless you do it sort of like this off to the side. So you can get just a little bit, but you have to put his arm out. Bicep swivel, and if you're not careful, like you saw on the other arm, it will pop off. Over 90-degree bend at the elbow. Swivel on the wrist, no bend. Hinge at the thumb, and hinge for the separate hinge for the first finger, and then another one, or then all three of the rest of the hand joined together. No more than just there, just pre-shaped. It's not the worst out there, but it's not the best, which is why third party is sometimes better. Anyway, no ab crunch, waist swivel, legs can kick forward that far, pretty far. Back not too far because of the backpack. And quite a bit over 90-degree bend at the knee, which is pretty good. Nice little ratchets. Thigh swivel. Feet have a little bit of ankle tiltage. Not too terribly much, but there is some there. And probably maybe just a little bit more if you pull on his feet. Although if you pull on his feet, you will more than likely pop something loose. But yes, he does have some ankle tiltage. That's about it for articulation. So I think we'll go ahead and get him into his combined mode, because that's a little bit easier from robot mode than train mode. Okay, do bear with me though as I do transform him into his combined mode, because it is fairly complicated, or at least a little bit confusing. But then again, it could just be the Japanese instructions and it's all in Japanese. And the first time I looked at it with the translation was quite a way ago. Was when I first got him anyway. Anyway, but first thing I want to do is just flip or put the hands in. Although it does say to rotate the hands around, so you in the instructions, but you get like that. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll try to follow the instructions as close as possible. But you flip that open, close that up, flip these up, pull his arms up. And then, one thing that is kind of annoying, but you kind of have to do it so that you can actually get everything situated properly. So you have to untap pretty much all of this, all of his backpack, just so that you can get some stuff rotated around. But you want to then get all of this up, just pretty much just so you can untab it. Just get this all up, untab, just so that you can rotate. Okay, hopefully without stressing anything, but rotate the top around like that. And then also while you're at it, may as well rotate the bottom around as well, because if you forget, like I did last time I did it, you'll have to backtrack a little bit so you can get it back around. But then you have to put these back in place so you get this tab into this slot right there. There we are. And then pretty much get back to where you had it. Oh, you also want to close that up and put his head back. Let's see, get this tab back in. Okay, now what you're gonna want to do is to this rotate up without rotating this up, and you just want to double bend at the elbow, then fold in. It's kind of a wonky transformation, honestly. At least it feels a little wonky, in my opinion, but it is kind of cool. Although it does feel somewhat flimsy sometimes. But like I said, without rotating the whole shoulder thing. Although it still hasn't quite revealed what that articulation. It might be for the combined mode, honestly. I really don't know though. Anyway. Oh, and there goes the mushroom peg. Again, yeah, this one doesn't like to stay on very well. Oh, where was I? Oh, yes. Rotating down on the double hinge without popping this out. There we are, and with the way things pop out, sometimes it makes me somewhat concerned how well the combined figure will hold together, which is why I'm still on the fence as whether or not I'll get the whole set. Although I am a bit of a completionist, so I'll probably at some point end up getting a complete set. Yep, and just rotate that in. And then you want to, yeah, I should have already flipped that up. And then you let's see. Flip this around, get this kind of pushed down a bit, flip these up like that, I guess, so it kind of hugs this, and then you want to bring this extended out a bit, and you're going to want to slide this whole front back a little bit. It's kind of difficult to see a little bit, but you just slide back. And that allows you to do this bit. And then you close that up and just press in. So it's pretty much just like this. It gets all nestled up. The nose gets nestled up amongst the front of the train. Alright, the bottom front of the train anyway. Then, let's see. Where is it? Oh, and that popped up. It is new, hopefully. Should be. There's another mushroom thing it looked like. Anyway, get these two black tabs. Tab in right there on the silver. Tab in, and then get these two tabs or plugs to plug in right here. I do apologize for the black plastic or the really dark, hard to see plastic, because it is hard to see it with the given lighting, but when you see it, it's right there. You just tab them into place, although you want to make sure that you get it up on this hinges up here. You bring it down and it just tabs into place. Alright, now for these you want to have these up here like that, and we're almost there. So I guess maybe it isn't as tricky as I thought it was. Anyway, but when you're doing something for, I don't know, when you haven't done it too many times, it does get a little tricky. This just goes and clips on right there. I guess it's a little bit of some support. Let's have that flipped up just so we can get a better look at it, but it's supposed to hook around, there we are, like that, into place. And then it does note when transforming him back, to do it you just pretty much pull his arm down a little bit and then press in and unhook it. I don't know if any ladies really watch this, but if you do, is that sort of how I'm hooking? Never mind. I don't know. I don't even know if I should even say it. Bra, whatever. I don't know. That's not my problem. Anyway, I'm just jabbering now. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for he's mostly there. I want to go ahead and collapse these down. and then you want to flip these up, flip up, and also one thing you want to be careful about, like I said, lots of clear plastic. You want to just make sure that you don't force anything on this guy. I have not broken anything yet, fingers crossed it doesn't happen on camera, but yeah, you don't want to force anything, because for all you know, you could be just going against a little clear plastic tab that you did not see and then inadvertently snap it off. I might have stressed a couple in the couple times I've transformed him, but haven't broken anything yet. Like I said, fingers crossed. So we are pretty much there. If you want to display him like this with legs, like an upper body with legs, you could do that. Since he does not come with the stand, which is a little bit of a shame, but he does not come with the stand. So you could display him like this. I guess some weird Gestalt gear walk mode thing if you wanted to do it. But anyway, last thing you want to do is clip the feet together. Doesn't clip the whole legs, just the feet. And then you just want to bring his legs back and around like so. And the last thing to do before he's in combined mode, Gestalt mode, whatever they it's translated on the back. Gatai mode. Anyway, again, yeah, the last thing to do is just put this little shield thing on, breastplate, and what you do is you just hook this over here, over the front of, focus, not on the backdrop, on the front. Just clip that over, and then goes in that peg. Although, there we are. It doesn't stay, it stays on okay, but as you can see, the whole thing just feels kind of, not necessarily loose, well maybe a little bit loose, but it just feels kind of flimsy. I mean, not like the toy's going to break flimsy, but more flimsy as in, I don't know how well this thing's actually going to hold together. And also, it is the upper body. If you look on the back, it is, he just forms this part right here. So I think the arms probably attach on here or something and rotate on this axis. That's my guess. So my guess is it slides in right there, because that looks like slots that slide in, and then this just, you know, closes up over it. That's my guess. So it means I won't be able to get a whole lot up here, so the arms might not stay on the best. And as far as, it looks like he doesn't come with the waist. One of the other train bots probably comes with the waist that he then clips onto, and then the other two train bots attach to the bottom of that accessory. I don't think that that's part of any of the train bots as far as I know, but it could be, I'm not sure. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it for this configuration, and let's go ahead and get him back into his robot mode. Presto changeo! He's back in robot mode. Yay, hooray, I'm a great magician, the greatest has ever been. Not really. Anyway, let's see about getting back into his train mode. Well, I mean, I guess he's almost back. Now he's back in robot mode. Anyway, train mode, getting into train mode is kind of interesting. Definitely interesting. He gets very, very thin. Okay, so let's go ahead and get him into train mode. Okay, so of course, first things first, let's go ahead and put his hands in. Put his hands in. Alrighty, where to begin after that? Okay, let's go ahead and untab that. Kind of want to get this all extended. And then this is going to do some interesting acrobatics to get from to travel pretty much from the top of the train to the bottom of the train, because this runs along the bottom, but you obviously don't want to disconnect this. And then, oh, one last thing, but I may as well show it off. Now I'll wait until train mode. Train mode, it'll be funner if he's in train mode. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and disconnect this. Slip it back in. You might want to just pull this out, like that pivot, that hinge, pivot is, yeah, pivot. It extends out, but let's go ahead and collapse his head in. Then let's see, you can go ahead and lift that up a little bit and rotate and press back in. As you can see, he's already starting to get a little bit thinner. And then flip up his side panels. Okay. Now let's flip those up. And a good way to look to know exactly if you're doing it right is to see if all the colors and patterns match up appropriately. That's a really good indication if you're doing it right. And also, this needs to be rotated around. Whoops, and getting in the way of the camera a little bit. But you want to also flip these up and out. And as you can see, this is going to be kind of in the middle up there. And now this gives us a little bit of room to work with, continue working on the upper body. So you untab that, untab, and you just flip down, get those out of the way. Alrighty then, and this, and with this, you kind of have to do a little bit of acrobatics, it feels like, to get it around, but you just, and without damaging any of the clear plastic, as nerve-wracking as that is, but just, like I said, do a little bit of acrobatics, get it around, and then second side, just like this side, but it's all lined up. Let's see. This no, that did not come out. Wait, this arm's probably coming out. That's probably why. All right, there we are. And tabs. That's also. I don't want to damage anything. And okay, rotate this on. This is one of the part of the wing thing, but you flip that down, and this should just tab into place. This tab right here is being ornery. I don't know why. It doesn't look like it's broken, but perhaps it did get broken. I just didn't realize it. No, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like it's really thin. But yeah, anyway, it's not cooperating, and I'm not sure exactly why. It might be that the arm is just not sitting quite right. It looks like everything else is pretty much right, and also that you're going to want to have that angled down. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do the other side and see if the other side is going to cooperate. And then if I figure out what it was, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so I got the other side done. I just wasn't pressing hard enough. I was just being a little too timid, but yeah, now I'm pushing the wrong spot. But I wasn't pushing quite hard enough to get it to clip into place. This one is a little bit easier, but as you can see, it's still slightly, ever so slightly grayed, so it's not a big deal. It's probably supposed to be like that anyway. You get these kind of lined up. But before you clip them together and all that, you want to bring this down and around like so, and just kind of get, come on. Okay, now what's going on here? I got slid back again, or not. Let's see. Okay, it's not going to. Hang on here. What is going on here? Oh, never mind. I was just being too timid again. Timid. That's the problem with masterpieces, that sometimes it's like you're afraid to try to force something because you think you're forcing it, but you're not forcing it, and then it turns out, oh, I was just being too timid for nothing. But yeah, you just thunk that down in place, and I just feel really foolish. But we all have those moments. But like I said, you bring it down around, and then you close up the arms around it, and also try to get all this lined up. I'll admit, in some ways it is a little more difficult to get them into train mode than to robot mode, because you have to get all these panels to fit perfectly. But when you're getting into robot mode, you just pretty much undo all your hard work. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the front of the train. I'm going to hold off on this because once I close it up, I'm pretty much not going to be able to show off the storage for that portion. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the back now, and let's go ahead and collapse that down. I hope it wasn't premature. I don't think it was, but who knows, it might be. Well, I mean, obviously I should know, but now I'm just rambling again. Anyway, but you kind of want to undo the feet, get this flipped out, and then a little bit of, feels a little bit finicky, but you also, as you can see, it's rotated. You want to funk it like that, and then flip this up. Alrighty then, and then you just want to, come on, okay, I hope you caught most of that, but then you pivot down to that point, close this back up, and then, as you can see, this is the, wait, okay, oh yeah, and also untap this. Alrighty. Rotate, and there I go, being timid again, but yeah, you just untab it, pull it up and around, and then it's pretty much ready to be clicked into place right there. But you might not want to click it fully into place, because you still gotta get it connected and all that to the other side. Then you just collapse that down, clip into place, and here we have pretty much almost 1/2 of the train completely done. And then second verse, almost just like the first, because it does have this that you gotta deal with. So just go ahead and flip that down, then pull, well, undo that, and then pull this kind of out so it's out of the way, untab, whoops, rotate out and around, getting that out of the way. Then I want to kind of get this, well, before you put it back down, you need to collapse the leg back down, or hinge it down, and then rotate, around. Okay, well, okay, getting ahead of myself a little bit, I think. Untab this, pretty much just close up the foot like this, and rotate around. Hopefully it doesn't look too confusing, at least not any more confusing than the instructions that came with it. But to be fair, it goes from train to robot, so I was hoping maybe it would be beneficial to some people to see it from going from robot to train, because sometimes, even though reversing instructions to get back into vehicle mode isn't always as straightforward as it sounds. Anyway, pretty much there into train mode. Let's just go ahead and get everything lined up the rest of the way. Get the rail, come on, moved up a little too far. But you get this lined up, and then you just collapse it in, and it actually helps hold the back of the train together, because it tabs into both of these right here, and it also tabs in down here a little bit, although it's not quite tabbing in. Let's see, maybe it's just a little. Let's go ahead and pull that up just a little bit again. Make sure that it's lining up effectively. Okay, there we are. Okay, so it tabs in right in there, and you can actually see it through the clear plastic, which is one of my concerns, is clear plastic that tends to break. And then get this lined up and clipped in, but although for whatever reason, there we are. Just need to get clipped into both at the same time. Although the feet, for whatever reason, are not wanting to quite close up. Let's go ahead and press that up. Make sure that's flipped out. Get this clipped in, tabbed in. Looks like, sorry if I'm getting too close to the camera. But it's a little difficult working with something that's longer than a hot dog or whatever. Or, well, no, hot dogs aren't that big. But anyway, working with something that's kind of long and you're trying to show it off effectively. Although this side, for whatever reason, is not wanting to go together all that well. But I also don't want to undo everything just to see what was wrong. But I feel like I should at least take a peek and see what might be. It looks like it might be the foot getting in the way. But I'm not sure exactly why it wouldn't. There we are. Okay, so this wasn't pushed all the way in. Now it is. Okay. There we are. And there it snaps together with a nice satisfying click. And now we're pretty much into train mode. The only thing left to do, well, okay, also get this re-tab back into place. Okay, I'm forgetting a little bit of things. That's what happens when you that's when you don't follow instructions, you go backwards. Sometimes you have to improvise, or things make a little more sense in other ways. Now for the front of the train, the only reason why I didn't close this up is because it's sort of like the cockpit. You can place the chairs in here. This is the back of the seat. I think this would be like if you're using it as a booster seat for like smaller figures. I'm not sure, but I think it's kind of funny. And that's something you can do. And it just plugs in right in here, like the tabs on the back. And you just tab them in, and then you can close it up with the figure inside. But actually, I might go ahead and do that just so that it looks like there's, I don't know, a place for the engineer to sit. But before I tap those in, just gonna go ahead and show you storage width. You just close this up, and then you slot it in. There's a place to slot it in. Anyway, it just pretty much goes in here. It's supposed to, maybe I put it in, maybe I put the wrong, yeah, that's it. I put the wrong side of the wing down first. It's this side and then this side, because that's what tabs into this, this slot right here. That's how happens when you tilt down the camera. It's not where you're expecting it to be. Anyway, you tab it into there, and it holds that in nice in place, and then you can't see it in there. So that's kind of cool. But let's go ahead and, like I said, put the seats in, and we'll go ahead and see what that looks like once it's closed up. So let's go ahead and close these up. This is also something that comes up in robot mode, I think, or combined mode. I think it's for Gatai mode, but those flip up, but those sometimes have a tendency to pop up, which is kind of annoying. These clips, they're kind of, these little clips are supposed to be kind of in there, and they just go in here. That's why you have them bent down a little bit, so just flip or slip inside, and then there we are, and just get everything to click into place, and don't be too forceful, but forceful enough to get in there. And now, finally, after all those tribulations and trials and cringe-worthy statements and all that, we have him in his train mode, and it's absolutely as impressive as a giant sausage-like thing can be. I mean, it's really cool. I do like how sleek it looks. It's a bullet train pretty much. And then, you know, and there's not too much kibble in his vehicle mode either. Like, the only thing that's like screams, "I'm a robot in disguise." It's the Autobot emblem, and that kind of looks like a chest. And then, oh, that looks like a waist a little bit. But other than that, he hides it pretty well. I mean, because there's texture right there to make it look like, I guess, the bottom of a train. There's the wheels. I mean, the detail on this is stunning. I mean, granted, it is a masterpiece. But, and then look, there's even like a number for the car or the door, see, or something like that. But it's so cool. And then the silver up top, and it's amazing how it goes. I mean, granted, he's kind of a boxy robot, but how it goes from that robot to such a slim profile. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. And then you can place him onto his track, although it can be a little tricky, especially if he's not quite lined up as he's supposed to in his vehicle mode. It can be tricky to get all the wheels on at the same time, but they are, and he rolls pretty well. Of course, you want to be careful when you're rolling because he might derail a little bit, but he is cool. I like him, and it actually kind of makes me want get the rest in the set. Now let's look at that. That actually looks really cool, like he's coming down the track. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about getting the second one. The second one looks pretty cool. And the third, and who knows, I'll probably end up getting the whole set, like I said earlier. Anyway, this has been a review of Transformers Masterpiece MPG-01 of trainbot Shouki, or Shouki, however you pronounce his name, who forms the chest of the Gatai mode. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.